All right. We will start from the line that begins Hanefesh. About a third from the bottom, Lamed Dalet. At the end of that line, we've explained that Tainug and Chochmah are in truth Inyan Echad, Be'etzem. And then, the Tainug Hu Atzmi, this is Atzmos HaNefesh. And the Atzmos HaNefesh, this is the Etzem that incorporates and bears all the koiches. And from it, from this Etzem, all the koiches are coming forth. This principle, that the koiches are coming forth from the Etzem, we explained yesterday, at least we attempted to explain yesterday, to point out that the principle of an Etzem, of the Etzem HaNefesh, is that it is an essential truth. An essential truth has no limit where it is present, where it is not present. And thus, all the koiches, all the possibilities are reflected, are a reflection of this Etzem. And the Etzem bears, we can relate to all of them. Not only can we relate them, but the Etzem provides for all of them. And this is the pshat that the Chochmah and the Oineg HaNefesh, this is the Etzem. And Chochmah and Oineg are one thing. And just as the Oineg includes everything, so does Chochmah include it. And let's go inside now. And they will have this inside. V'lochein, at the end of this line. V'lochein, and for this reason, therefore, Koyach HaSeichel, the Koyach HaSeichel, Gam K'moi Shebo Begilui, even in its revealed form, Muvduhu Mikol HaKoyches. It is distinct and apart from all the Koyches. In what sense? Ba'meh koilel kulam, in the fact that it includes all of them. When the hand is functioning, the foot cannot understand the functions of the hand, nor can the hand understand the functions of the foot. This is a simple reality, and everybody can recognize that each koyach functions in its own domain, and it does not relate to other koyachs, except, of course, for seichel. Seichel understands each one of these koyachs. Even though we're talking about seichel goler, which means functioning seichel. Even at the functioning level, it can relate to all, it includes everything, all the koiches. And because of the fact that it includes all the koiches, this is why the seichel is moved all, stands alone from, and is in a separate category in all the koiches. And the principle that is koilel kulam is not merely the fact that he's koilel kulam, therefore he rules over all of them. But he stands moved on. The principle of havdalah means that it's not in the same realm, in the same category. What's the difference categorically between the seichel and the other koiches? Not functionally, categorically. This we explained many times. That to have many is possible by accumulating many individual koiches. To have all is a completely different concept. All is a completely different principle. All means that it relates to the essence of all the koiches, not to their functional value. And this is why the seichel is in a category all by itself. It's not really, in the true sense of the word, a koyach. This is the human being. A koyach means something that he can function external to himself. This is him. Let's continue. V'shoyresh ha'amiti, and the true shoyresh, root of the seichel, who had tainug atzmi. He's the tainug. This is what we said. Since that seichel includes all cannot be contained on a functioning level. All means that it actually is reflective of the source, of one source that includes everything. And that's why it says, Sheresh Shoshe Ho'amiti. It's true Sheresh Ho'atana Go'atzmi. And again, we will not spend too much time, but I just want to call your attention to this again. Shoshe Ho'amitu Hatana Go'atzmi is the Pshat Shoshe Ho'amiti, that seichel actually refers back to the tainug and says, yes, I can relate to this, I can relate to this, because as long as tainug can relate to it, I can relate to it. It's Shoshe Ho'amiti. And which tainug? Tainug ho'atzmi means the truth of tainug. Truth of tainug, that is nefesh. That is unlimited. And again, I want to remind everyone, we should understand that when we talk about unlimited, Atzmi, Shoshe Ho'amiti, the reason that such a thing exists is that these are all koiches and all realities, and nefesh itself is a creation from emes, from echad ha'emes. It's reflective of its creator. If we think of things as they stand on their own, in their own functionality, then there's no etzem. And there's no such thing as one as it includes everything. There's no oinagatzmi. Where does oinagatzmi come from? Because there is emes eliki. This emes eliki has been provided for in the nefesh. And I want to, perhaps for the 100th time, nevertheless, I want to kind of demonstrate the principle. We are here in this room, and we are able to concentrate and sit in so to speak, in full control and peace, because the walls are surrounding us, and it isolates us from all intrusion from outside. And so we are in this room, and therefore we're able to focus in on our activities. Within this concept that we are, so to speak, isolated in this demarcated area, there is included at its core the principle that this area is really part of the greater area. And if we should conceive that this is an isolated area, and it's not part of the greater area, we could not be here in 1 second. Even though functionally it would make no difference, but our concept, and our seichel, and our nefesh, our oimen, does not relate to limit. They can function on a limited level because this limit is within the unlimited. There's an unlimited value to it. But if it was exclusively this limit, then we would be able to function. As demonstrated, as we always speak about, the suffering in being imprisoned. When in prison also he can do everything he wants. And what's the profound suffering of being imprisoned? In jail? Is that he is separated from the outside world. Not because he cannot venture there. He's got plenty of room in his confines. But he can't relate to it. It's not my world. My world is limited over here. And when he's released from prison, his way to experience his new freedom and get back to himself is not by running up and down the streets. On the contrary, is by sitting down and just observing the world and saying hello to the world again. Now, the world is mine. The seichel functionally has all the koiches. The true shoyres, meaning what substantiates the seichel, what gives the seichel the koyach to relate to all of these things and to follow through, to be able to focus. There's a din in halacha. When a person ois a mitzvah, ois a mitzvah potem min mitzvah. One is in Yav, in Yezen, doing one mitzvah, he is potem from other mitzvahs. There's a halachic implication from that in many different ways. So the question is, how can you say he's potter on mitzvahs? He has 613 mitzvahs. What's the answer? The answer is that each mitzvah represents all the mitzvahs. Each mitzvah has the profound truth of mitzvahs, and therefore it actually incorporates all the mitzvahs. And this is what we're saying, that Tainug Ho'atzmi. What means Tainug Ho'atzmi? Tainug Ho'atzmi, the Atzmi means that it includes everything. V'zehu. Now we're going to the final statement. V'zehu. And thus, this is the point that we say. Shehanefesh nikras nefesh hasichlis. What is the pshat? That the nefesh is referred to as nefesh hasichlis. The seichel dike nefesh. Hainu. And that is al shem bechinas hatainuk ho'atzmi shebenefesh. It is due to, and it actually makes reference to the tainuk ho'atzmi in the nefesh. Shezehu pshitus hanefesh. This tainuk ho'atzmi is the pshitus hanefesh, is the simplicity, meaning this is the essential nakuda of the nefesh. Sheine murko bishum dover. That is not combined with anything. This is not a tainuk that has a subject. He has oineg in being what he is. He has oineg eliki in being what he is. This is tainuk ho'atzmi, pshitus hanefesh. Due to this tainuk ho'atzmi in the nefesh, because of this tainuk, it's called nefesh hasichlis. And here is where we are challenged to explain, if it's because of the tainuk, why you call it sichlis? Call it tainuk. Despite the fact that we explained that the seichel is shorshir ha'amita is in tainuk.
Yonah had this question.
Huh?
Yonah had this question.
Well, we explained it. Okay. That's fine. We can revisit this question. We'll be revisiting the question. We explained on the onset when we first mentioned this whole principle. Pshitus hanefesh. Pshitus hanefesh means when the nefesh is totally without definition. Now, please understand, there are two opposite extremes in that respond to this statement.
Which statement of Pshitus?
Pshitus, no definition. And it's a very important thing to understand, because that is exactly what we're struggling with the world. This thing here, I'm putting it down over here. Okay. Now, what makes it possible for me to put it down over here? There are very two distinct ways of responding to this. One is because there's nothing else there. Therefore, I can put it down. What does it mean there's nothing else there? The place where I'm putting it down is totally insignificant. There's nothing there. Now that I'm putting this down, this is now defining this place. This is the worldview. There's pure nothingness. And things exist primarily in pure nothingness. And since that things exist in pure nothingness, therefore ultimately everything is nothing. So you don't represent anything. The fact that it's here does not mean it should be here, it has a right to be. It doesn't have any, just grab this place because nothing else is there, so you grab this place. Then there is the exact opposite view. There's a godly infinity that provides for everything. And therefore, if I am able to put it down over here, is because this godly truth provides for this to exist. Where is this difference identified? We're saying that in the nefesh there is everything. What does it mean there is everything? It's pshitus. Why not? So we're saying no. In the nefesh there is everything not because why not? But because there is everything. The nefesh provides for everything. This providing for everything, this is the principle that's expressed in seichel. And as we explained all the way in the beginning, let's go back to the rock. You said the rock, yes, you can do anything with what you want with it. It's just a presence. But does the rock care what you do with it? Is the rock aware of what you're able to do with it? Is the rock aware that it can be part of a wall? Absolutely not. You can do anything you want with it because it has no personal preference at all. No personal value whatsoever. It's not aware. The nefesh has everything, but the nefesh has everything by being aware of everything. Without being aware, then everything is nothing.
Tainig itself is not aware. Is not.
That's what we're saying. Tainig is aware because Tainig is sichli. Tainig HaNefesh is not just Tainig. Let me go back and explain, and we'll go back to Tainig for a moment. Now we'll be able to connect all the ends. Now we said Tainig is possible only when there is infinity giving support. And here is again the same thing. There is Tainig the Kedusha and Chaim the Klipa. Tainig the Klipa means I have absolute no concerns, no worries. Tainig the Kedusha is no, I am experiencing everything. I have everything. This again brings us back to Yankov and Esav. Esav says, I have everything, I have a lot. Tanka said, I don't have a lot, I have everything. This would them sichlis. Remember, I told you the story with this gentleman that was in our home, spent many Shabbos in Bayas. I told you he was a little bit short at birth. He was a little bit retarded. With all the education and all that, he said he breaks rocks and all that. He could not bring back the Oineg HaNefesh. There's no way. You can't bring it back by training. Maybe if you learn Chassidus, who knows, maybe. But learn mathematics would not bring it back. And he was a mathematics major, a PhD. And we were sitting at a table. And he would doze off. And I said to him, well, you're tired. He said, no, there's nothing going on. Nothing going on. So he dozes off. He starts talking to him, he's right back. What is it? What's the message to it? Nothing going on in under normal circumstances is everything going on. There's nothing specific, but there's an all total reality, not nothingness. Like we said the other day, and we said the other day, a human being versus an animal, an animal is running in one direction, going this direction. He is going exclusively in this direction. He's got his focus, whatever he's running for, he's running here. A human being is not exclusively in this direction. Wherever he's going, he is conscious that this direction is part of the entire world. He can go in unlimited directions. Not only that, he can go up and down. Unlimited directions. 360 degrees and then some. And if he goes in one direction, he chooses one out of 360 different directions. And he's aware of it. That's enough. If we would speak in terms of Tainuk exclusively, without ending this nefesh hasichlis, we would be missing on this point.
This is not everything.
Yeah, there is not everything. There's nothing, and therefore he has oinek. That's not what we mean by oinek and nefesh. How do they demonstrate? Let's say they advertise a vacation. Go to this resort place, blah blah blah, and you will have oinek hanefesh. How do you demonstrate oinek hanefesh? Sitting hardly with any clothes on. One hand is spread this way, one hand is spread this way. One foot is over there, one foot is over there, and the head is thrown in the back, and that's the deepest and the greatest human experience. Experience of nothing is not a human experience, and ultimately does not provide for the rest that a person is looking for. On the contrary, a person lays down in his tile, lays down on his bed. On the side, like a mensch, with discipline, with derech eretz, that's when he gets his rest. Then he collects all his koiches. He collects himself into one unit. And really experiences real human reality. This is why the nefesh is called nefesh hasichis. Al shum hatainuk. Because this tainuk is atzmi, because the tainuk is a true tainuk, not a tainuk of opposite of tainuk. A true tainuk. True tainuk is seichel. Knows everything that's contained in it. This is it for this morning, and Mitzvah Hashem, we will reconvene tomorrow again. Have a good day.
This Shabbos verbringen is in David Babinet's Sukkah. He's going to provide a lounge chair for each one of us.